Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and here's a live trade. Yesterday's trade was not live. We recorded the results and everything, but it wasn't live because I had my mic muted and I did not know that while I was recording, so I had to re-record it. But obviously today's different. I want to show you guys a live trade that's happening, so we're going to start from scratch. Well, why are we taking this trade? You see we dipped into a support zone, right? If I zoom out, you just see, it's a support zone, right? And once we've done that, you notice that we've now created a imbalance right here, whatever you call it, imbalance, liquidity void, fair value gap, whatever you want to call it, right? And what I was telling you yesterday, that when market creates this kind of move here, it shows that one side of the market is taking over, right? And it's not always the case, but as you see here, one side of the market was taking over when it created this imbalance. Same with here, right? And so on. So here we have the trade, right? It comes right here, and since this is live, you're seeing live markets hit it. So I didn't take it once I'm not showing you the video once it hits take profit. I'm recording this today after yesterday's trade with you guys to see exactly how the market moves, and this may very well not hit take profit until later on. But where would you put your stop loss in this? Well, there's two places. If price is right here, so I've already entered the trade, but if price is right here, and you could enter and put a stop loss right here, correct? This is where your stop loss could be. It's a 2.8% stop loss. Your take profit can be, let's say a 2R, or if your stop loss is down here, your take profit could still be a 2R, which would be right here. Or if you want to use the very bottom, because one thing I've noticed about traders is they're always going to move their stop loss if they see price going against them, right? So you could decide to use the worst case scenario, which is down here, because if price goes down here and closes below this, you were wrong, and that means that price wants to dig further into the support zone. Okay, now if you're using this as your stop loss, then you probably want to use like a 1.5 take profit. Okay, so yes, with bigger stops means smaller reward. Okay, and in this case, this wouldn't be the worst case scenario. The take profit is still good. However, I would recommend using this stop or this stop if you're advanced. Only use this stop here if you're a type of trader that likes to exit trades because maybe you have FOMO, or you're scared that it will hit your stop loss if you put it here and then bounce up. So obviously you're gonna have to use bigger stops. This will help you not risk too much, and also it will help you feel more comfortable when you see price starting to come down, like on this candle right here. Okay, when this candle was coming down. Either way, we'll see what happens. You may ask about the support and the support zone here. The support zone is basically just on a daily time frame, and as you could see, the last time it came into the support zone, you had this imbalance, fair value gap, whatever you want to call it, which was then trade activated, and it went up a lot. Now obviously we don't expect it to keep going up a lot because it's 10:16, right? And because it's 10:16, 10:17, markets could start slowing down later on, so we don't want to target something like all the way up here and then, you know, not ever reach it. So we'll target the 1.5 with a stop loss here, or you're going to target a 2R with stop loss down here. So these were your two setups for today, and we'll see how it goes. I'll wait until actually the highest take profit. So we'll wait until we see the highest take profit, because we want to see if price could reach up there and not just like come here and then reverse, right? So we want to see if it reaches this 1.5. And no, I cannot speed up candles because this is live market, so you're probably gonna have to fast forward the video or just watch the video through. But so far we see price is making pullbacks. It doesn't always move in one direction. Really nice to see when price is going up, like yesterday's gold trade, right? But it doesn't always happen like that. And since we're on the minute, you will see pullbacks. Another thing we're not doing is we're not moving stops to break even. We're just gonna let this rock. It's either gonna win or lose. And I know some of you guys trade NADEX, so you could ask if this is doable on NADEX, and yes it is. What you will have to do on NADEX though is take the hourly and basically say by 11 o'clock, okay, which is in about 32 minutes, or 42 minutes, sorry, it's not going to close below this area. So you're going to take the closest strike to this imbalance, or this imbalance that it just formed if you didn't take it, and you're basically saying price is not going to close below this area at 11 o'clock, okay? That's how you would take this trade on NADEX. And I only threw that in because I know there's a lot of you that do trade NADEX, so. Currently we're just watching it pull back. We could see price take out this low before it goes higher, or we could see it take out this. I assume it will not take out this low here, because this is the first low after the intermediate term low here, which is a very strong protected low. I don't know if you guys have watched videos on protected lows and such, but this would be the protected low right here. And it's already been traded through with this candle here, because this candle first saw it come down. It took out any orders that were in this area before it went higher, so essentially it shouldn't come below this low here. And if it does, we'll most likely see it fall deeper into the support zone. And also, right now we're in the heart of New York session. We'll take a little look to the left, and we will see this trade here happened just after London session, right? You saw this opportunity unfold. It hit support even in Asian session, so the support zone has been hit in all 3 sessions, right? And every time it hit it, it bounced. So it bounced here, it bounced yesterday here, it bounced in London session here, and we expect it to bounce to go up now. We're not saying it's gonna break this high. It could very well break the high, but we're not saying that. We just want a little piece of this move. So far it's moving mainly in our direction. I know it looks like it hasn't been moving, right? But it's creating higher swing highs, right? Or swing lows, higher swing lows. And also the bigger candles are on the upside. We are now 9 minutes into this video. And sometimes trades would last anywhere from, 5 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour. Usually after an hour it doesn't really do much. But if this was your NADEX trade, then you would be in profit right now. If it's on your funded challenge, you're still in profit, still going. So overall, it's doing good. Alright, we should see price start to drive up here. As it closes above this high, we should see it shoot up to this high, and maybe we'll see a little stall before pushing higher. Again, maybe I'll flip over to the daily. Let's look at the daily, right? We see on the daily right here, we have huge support because we see candles keep rejecting right here, right? And I draw this support zone right here. Now, I could draw it all the way to the bottom, but I didn't want to make it too big. So I just drew it like in between this candle's wick, okay? And if we look on the hourly, we'll see that it's pretty much the same thing, right? We have, this is a good, it's a decent support area. And if we go to the 5 minute, do we see anything else? The 5 minute, we just see it as pretty, price has bounced pretty nice off it in 2 previous sessions. And then we go to the 1 minute, and we see price came down to it, right? The thing is, we're not taking it down here because we don't know how far into the support zone it's gonna go, okay? It could go all the way down here. It did that in London, right? But what we're waiting for is, we're waiting for sponsorship of, could be institutions, it could be just the machine behind, right? The ghost behind the machine. It could be banks, whatever it is you want to believe runs the market. The thing is, we need to see sponsorship from them, and sponsorships come in forms of big moves, leaving behind inefficiencies, leaving behind imbalances, fair value gaps. And you could tell because retail traders are not able to create such moves, okay? And I think everybody knows that by now. So the fact when you see big candles, regardless of how big or small the imbalance is, it's going to move the market because that shows sponsorship, okay? We didn't need a large-sized imbalance, okay? And you may ask, well, should you take an imbalance like this to go down? And the answer is no. You know why? Because this imbalance here was not created for price to come back into it and go down. It was created for price to fill this imbalance, because this imbalance here was the reason why we shot down into this area, right? And if price is to go up, right, who has to move the market down first? Okay? Because if institutions are buying, okay, if they want to buy, they're not going to buy up here, okay? This is where the New York Stock Exchange open. If today's going to be a buy, they're not going to buy up here, okay? And even if they're going to sell as well, they're not going to sell down here. They may not even sell here, okay? So let's take the buy scenario first, because we don't know if the market is going to continue going higher or it's going to go lower. So let's assume it's going to go higher. What do they need to do first? They need to first sell the market, because they want premium. So they're going to sell it, whether it's up here, 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 they're going to sell it. And as you could see, we could see that they were selling it here to reach this area. And what happens when they reach this area? Well, they buy up the market. And once price gets back up here, they're going to close all those sells at break even, because their main objective was not to sell. It was to buy. Just like right here, you see this candle right here? You see how it shot through here? Because those are sell orders being closed off in this area. Okay? And if you believe the algorithm runs the market, well, if an imbalance is left here, it has to come back because it has to fill the orders that are laying around here, because this saw too sharp of a move down that other buy orders and sell orders could not be filled. Okay? And now let's assume this was a sell. Okay, the plan was to sell. Well, if the plan is to sell today, okay, because we don't know if it's gonna buy or sell for the rest of the day. If the plan was to sell today, well, they're not gonna sell down here. They're not gonna sell here either. They're gonna want to sell from a premium, right? So what are they gonna do? They're gonna buy the market up. Okay, they're gonna buy the market up. And where would they buy it? They would buy it the same area where there's retail traders also buying, which is a support zone. And yes, retail concepts are, I think everything at this point is a retail concept, right? Even the quote-unquote smart money concepts, they're probably retail by now because too many people use them. But price goes up from support, right? It even has an imbalance right here, regardless of how big or small this imbalance is. Okay? And what happens after this? We see price continue to shoot up. And where is it shooting up? To a premium area, right? And a premium area just means an area where would be smart to sell, or where big bankers or institutions or the money, whatever the money is, wants to sell, which is in this area up here. So here we have price finally going up, and we might see this get taken out in the next few candles, right? So on my chart, I'm gonna go ahead and move my stops to break even. I know I don't really put my trades to break even, but because of how it's too close to take profit, I wouldn't want one big candle to shoot down and close me out, right? At least then I'm not gonna close any partials though. I'm just gonna move stops to break even. And if you had this stop loss, right? If you were using this stop loss here, and you were using, let's just wait to see if it hits this. It's about to hit this and take us out, but I think the next tick is gonna take me out on my trade. And we're gonna hit take profit here in a few seconds. Yeah, okay. We just hit take profit. Yep, as you see, it just pushed up. On TradingView, it doesn't really have the same charts. I think you guys know that by now. But it should hit it. But if you were using this stop loss right here, okay, your take profit wouldn't have been up here because this is a 2 point. As you see, it just hit it. It shot up, right? So now I could go ahead and explain what I was explaining before. As you see, the take profit was hit. If you were using this stop loss right here, your take profit would have been hit way earlier on this big push. And this would have been a 2R for you, so you would have made more than using a bigger stop. But the reason why you want to use a bigger stop is because not everybody is on the same level psychologically, because you may not feel comfortable using a small stop. You may not feel comfortable when the trade is trading against you, so you may want to get out. Okay? And because of that, using a wider stop may help you mentally be able to stay in this trade, because the strategy is not everything. Playing your risk reward and psychology is more important than the strategy. Anybody can have a strategy, okay? You can go and make a strategy today, right? 50% win ratio with a 2R, that's profitable. You could do that. Anybody could do that. But you know what everybody can't do? Is control their emotions after they've gotten in a trade. And you know what does help though? I think for me what helps is recording a video while I am trading, because then I'm more inclined to respect my zones. And as I'm talking you through the trade, I'm also building up my own confidence in this trade, okay? because I'm not thinking about, oh, is it gonna reverse on me and take out my stop loss? No, because I'm busy explaining to you guys why I took this trade. Okay? Anyway, in the beginning of the video, I told you my stops were down here. I got in on this first test, right? It gave us another entry right there. My risk reward was 2R, but regardless, even the safer entry would have been profitable. Anyway, that's all for the video. I am not a financial advisor, so yeah, take this with a grain of salt, do your own research, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Hope you had fun watching and hope you learned something.